And welcome to Mike Ferry TV. I suggested to some people a couple weeks ago that around July 1st, they should have a New Year's party. And they kind of looked at me and said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "Well, if you're an agent that has not had the first 6 months of production you want, why not start over on July 1st? If you're an agent that's done exceptionally well and you're afraid of complacency, which people get wrapped up in, why not start over on July 1st? So in essence, I said to these people, let's take July 1st and start over and make it a new year for ourselves. We have 6 months to perform. Well, this person thought I was probably just a little bit crazy, which a lot of people do. I'm used to that. But see, the truth is, what we have to understand about real estate is there's two issues. There's the skills we have to do our job, and then the mindset we have to continue to do our job on the days we don't feel like it. Great real estate people perform on the days they don't feel like it. Amateur real estate people do not perform on the days they don't feel like it, and the problem is they don't feel like it most of the time. So the question is always the same. Are you a professional? Are you an amateur? See, you have the opportunity to make money as a professional if you understand the importance of skills and mindset. So probably 10 days or so ago, I had a group call with 150 great agents on one of our Mondays with Mike group calls. And we talked about mindset, but here's what I said to them. And I want to reiterate this to you very carefully. Mindset is nothing more than what's going on in your head, your mind, at a given moment about situations, people, things, etc. It's how you see things. Earl Nightingale used to say all the time that attitude is a reflection of what's going on the inside, showing on the outside. You can tell a person's attitude by watching their face. Well, you can tell a person's mindset by watching their face. You know, you drive by a for sale by owner sign and you see the sign off to the right. What do? You have two choices: stop or accelerate. It's a mindset. Those that stop have the mindset that I can be of service to that for sale by owner. I can do something good to help them. Those that don't know what to say and don't know what to do, accelerate and get out of the neighborhood. See, it's all mindset. So what I want you to think about is this. That mindset that you're holding as you're watching this program today, that mindset that you hold on to, which in most cases really can help you accelerate forward or stop you completely, is the key to our business. I would say if you've been watching our little TV program for any length of time, if you're working for one of the many great brokers we get to work with, if you're involved in our coaching and our training and our seminars, you understand that there are certain things you have to do. What we don't understand, unfortunately, is that what goes on here controls what we do. So you've seen this before, and I've discussed it before. If you draw two circles, or the number 8, or like a snowman, and you look at that very carefully, that is technically how the human mind operates. The upper circle is called the subconscious mind. It's a storage unit. It's where everything going on in our lives is collected. Every sound, every word, every thought is stored. Every action we see, every movement around us is stored up in this subconscious mind. And it is really virtually the greatest storage unit in history. I mean, there's no storage unit bigger than the virtual subconscious mind we have. The lower circle is what they call the conscious mind. And the conscious mind controls what we say and what we do. The two are connected all the time. Now, here's what I want you to understand. You can only say to somebody, a buyer, a seller, a prospect, etc., what you have stored up here. You can't say things that aren't already stored in your subconscious mind. Things don't appear magically out of space. It doesn't work that way. So what we say if we knock on a door, "My name is Mike Ferry, when do you plan on moving?" that can only be said if it's stored up here first. If we don't have anything stored up here, we get awkward, we get clumsy. "Hey, do you want to sell your home or not?" So what happens, that "hey, do you want to sell your home or not" has been said in your subconscious mind enough times that it's there and it comes out. The trouble is, it's not as good as saying, "when do you plan on moving?" So therefore, what we have to understand is we have to control what goes in that upper circle so the right things come out of our mouth in the lower circle. The lower circle controls, of course, what we do. I talked last week. When you see a buy owner, do you stop or do you accelerate? Because that's really what it comes down to. It's always one or the other. If every time you see a buy owner you accelerate, guess what? You've got a problem. You're not going to get that listing. Well, why do you accelerate? Because you've stored up here a bad thought process about for sale by owners. They're mean, they're nasty, they won't pay a commission, they don't like realtors. Well, tell yourself that enough of the time and guess what? You're 100% correct. Remember what Earl Nightingale said to us back in 1956. You become what you think about most of the time. You become what you think about most of the time. If you think that every for sale by owner hates realtors, they're going to hate you first. But if you think that you can list any house that's going to potentially come up for sale, you're going to get more listings. See, it's what you're carrying in your subconscious mind that controls what you do throughout the day. You walk in the office, 8:30, 9 o'clock. Oh, it's another lousy day. It's hot outside and it's humid. It's summertime. You know, people are all going on vacation. There's nobody around that wants to sell their home. Now, think about that as a good way of starting your day. What are you going to do from 9 o'clock until 5 o'clock with that type of behavior pattern, with that kind of thought process? I mean, how much are you going to do that's going to be of value today with that thought process? Versus walking in and saying, you know why today's a great day? Because 90% of the realtors think it's a lousy day, and I think it's a great day. Therefore, it's going to be a great day. Because see what I've stored up here. Now, here's what I want you to picture. In that subconscious mind is stored an enormous amount of negative thoughts, actions, sights we've seen, etc. So when we go to say and do something, we can only respond with what we've stored. Our job is to fill that subconscious mind with good thoughts all the time. Good words, good scripts, good closing techniques, good answers to objections. You know, good positive thoughts about your life and what you want to accomplish. The more you pour it in, the more that comes out of here and the actions you take. But on the other side, if all you're pouring in is negative stuff, guess what? Only negative words come out of your mouth and negative actions take place. You know, people ask me all the time, what's the difference between those that have and those that do not have? And I go, well, I think it's what they think about most of the time. If you really believe you can't accomplish, you can't do, the vote is unanimous. You're right, you can't. And we see realtors all the time. I'll never be as good as he is, and I'll never be as good as she is, and I'll never make a lot of money. And I always say, you're right. You're 100% right. But then people walk up and say, oh my gosh, I can't believe how great my business is. And I go, well, you're right too. Because in every case, you're going to be right because of what you've stored up here. So somebody said to me one time, how do I put more good thoughts in my head? Well, I say this. Well, how about if you start reading 3 or 4 or 5 pages a day of inspirational books? I mean, there's tens of thousands of great books. You should have a book by your bedside. You should have one on your desk. You should have a couple of books laying around that you can open up any moment and just read 3 or 4 pages just to start pouring those good thoughts into your head. I'd say read more good books. But I'm also going to say to you, you should be taking 2 or 3 times a day a 15-minute mindset break where you just get out of the office and you clear your head and you get all that stuff that you're doing out of the way so you can get refreshed, take a walk around the building, have a glass of juice, take a little nap, read a few good pages of a good book. You need to break the pattern of negativity by taking mindset breaks. Read good books. Take mindset breaks. I tell people all the time, number 3, when you're in your car, listen to good positive CDs. There's so many great motivational speakers out there. Stick a CD in. You're going to laugh, you're going to enjoy, you're going to learn, you're going to move forward because those are the thoughts going into your subconscious mind. I tell people all the time, you've got to sit down and figure out, how do I spend more time with other successful people? Most of you are good at what you do. And we take pride in the fact we walk in the office and you're number 1. And all the rest of them who are number 29, 30, 31, and 32 want to watch you, hang around with you. That's okay. But you really want to spend some time, whether it be a role play partner, an accountability partner, in a mastermind group with other peers of people like yourself that are doing well, because you want to keep that kind of exposure coming in. But I also say all the time, you need to attend at least 2 to 3 of our 4-day Mike Ferry events per year. Now you're going to say, you're just trying to sell us on going to one of your events. Right. Don't forget it. That's my job. But that's not what I'm doing here. I'm just telling you that if you read more books and you take mindset breaks and you listen to good, positive message in your car and you talk to a lot of good people all the time, and you go to good seminars that fill your minds with good ideas, you're going to make the process a lot more fun, a lot more interesting, a lot more productive, and more profitable. But see, if you don't take control of what goes on here, we can't control what comes out of here. We've all been in situations where we've been at a loss for words, at situations where we didn't know exactly what to do. And then you get outside and you say, oh gosh, I should have said this. Well, if it's not stored up there, you can't say it. I should have done that. Well, if you haven't been there before, and if you haven't thought about it, and you haven't stored what to do up here, you can't do it. So remember, our subconscious mind controls what we say and what we do. We have total control of what we say and what we do if we have total control of what we put in, because that's what comes out. So our job for the second half of this year is to every day keep feeding good thoughts into that wonderful head of yours, because you have the most powerful computer in the world right there called a brain. Now we have to start using it. So the second half of this year, we're going to really work hard on controlling what we say and what we do so we can have the kind of results that you deserve and you expect. We're looking forward to watching you have a great second half of the year. And I guess I get to meet some of you virtually in a couple weeks of the Superstar Retreat in July. See you there.